Odi Meyi, the prominent wrestler. Long ago in the heavens, Odi Meyi was known not for his mastery of Ifa, but for his remarkable prowess as a wrestler. His daily task was to challenge the strongest divinities in the heavens to combat, and almost without fail, he emerged victorious. Every morning, he would step out of his home and shout triumphantly, "Loogban-oo," signaling his readiness to fight. One day, his cry of "Loogban-oo" reached the ears of the King of Death, who emerged to challenge Odi Meyi to a wrestling match. With sarcasm and disdain, Odi Meyi told the King of Death that he did not fight beings with just one head, as such a match would not allow him to showcase the superiority of his strength. He insisted that only beings with more than one head were worthy opponents. Word spread quickly that Odi Meyi would only fight those with multiple heads. Soon, a two-headed divinity came forward to challenge him. The fight began, but Odi Meyi swiftly tore off one of the divinity's heads, leaving it with just one. He declared that no being had the right to possess more than one head and vowed to transform all the inhabitants of heaven into one-headed beings. The following day, a three-headed divinity came to challenge Odi Meyi. He tore off two of its heads, leaving it with only one. This process continued until Odi Meyi encountered a nine-headed divinity. Early one morning, the nine-headed divinity challenged him, shouting "Loogban-oo," as Odi Meyi often did. When the fight commenced, Odi Meyi quickly removed 8 of its heads. However, as soon as his opponent fell to the ground, it stood up again, ready to fight him a second time. Ajala's intervention. Meanwhile, Ajala, also known as Agbede Ogun, the divine molder of heads in the heavens, was pleased with Odi Meyi's presence. With all the heads Odi Meyi was removing, Ajala had plenty of work to do. He observed the ongoing fight, and noticing that the battle was becoming more difficult, approached Odi Meyi with cryptic advice. Ajala informed him that he could create all parts of the body except the spine. This subtle hint guided Odi Meyi to attack his opponent's spine. Odi Meyi understood the message and grabbed his opponent by the spine, hurling it into the air before slamming it to the ground. With this decisive move, Odi Meyi claimed victory. Following his triumph, he returned home with the women and possessions of those he had defeated, as was customary in the heavens. The last divinity he defeated was the Alara of Heaven. A test of names. Upon returning home, Odi Meyi invited all the Awoses, diviners of heaven, to reveal the name of Alara's wife, the woman he had inherited in combat. Her true name was Bolawunmi, meaning my favorite wife. Odi Meyi declared that anyone who spoke her name in a seductive or disrespectful manner would face him in a spear-throwing contest on rocky ground. Many attempted the challenge but failed, losing all their possessions to Odi Meyi in the process. Eventually, it was the turn of Oligarabafe, who had been advised through divination to make offerings to his Ori head and Eshu. He was told to sacrifice a bird, preparing it with iko, cornmeal, and reserving the bird's hand for the first visitor who came to him the following morning. He was also instructed to make another sacrifice to Eshu with slippery food items like okra pudding. Oligarabafe's strategy. On the morning of the contest, Odi Meyi sent his 3 daughters, named Iboru, Iboye, and Ibosise, to summon Oligarabafe. The daughters were his first visitors that day. Oligarabafe remembered the advice to offer the bird's hand to the first visitors. He invited the children to eat before returning home, offering them Echo and the bird's hand. After eating, the eldest daughter declared that the laws of heaven forbade harming a host who had offered hospitality. Grateful for his kindness, the daughters revealed their father's secrets to Oligarabafe, including how to correctly pronounce the name Bolawunmi and where to strike with the spear in their father's private chamber. When Oligarabafe arrived at Odi Meyi's home, Odi challenged him to reveal the name of the woman as proof of his skill. Oligarabafe cleverly responded, using a respectful tone, and Odi Meyi immediately challenged him to a 7-day fight. However, Oligarabafe insisted he was ready to fight immediately. Odi, unwell, insisted on delaying the match. Before leaving, Oligarabafe gave Odi a warning. Failing to return Alara's wife would cost him his life. 7 days later, Oligarabafe returned for the fight. During the match, Odi sat on Oligarabafe's Ifa tray, akpako, making it difficult for him to maneuver. Oligarabafe, following advice, made offerings to Eshu and cooked a goat, placing the meat where Odi could see it. As the smell of food filled the air, Odi grew hungry. Oligarabaf also roasted a pigeon, hanging it above Odi, whose oil dripped onto his head. Odi stood to reach the pigeon. Oligarabafe swiftly removed the Ifa tray from under him, gaining the upper hand. Odi then invited Oligarabafe to one final test, driving a spear into the ground in his private chamber. Oligarabafe struck the drainage area, Uroramen in Bini or Oriole in Yoruba, as advised, successfully completing the challenge. Odi's departure. Amazed by Oligarabafe's strength, intelligence, and skill, Odi Meyi declared his time in heaven complete. He decided to leave for Earth, as his role in the heavens had come to an end. Before departing, he advised anyone receiving his Odu, divination sign, to offer sacrifices to avoid childlessness and to honor Ogun before embarking on journeys or agreements. Through this tale, we learn the importance of wisdom, strategy, and humility in overcoming challenges, as well as the critical role of sacrifice and respect for divine laws. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the story of Odi Meyi, the prominent wrestler. This tale from Yoruba tradition reminds us of the power of wisdom, resilience, and strategy in facing challenges, even against the most formidable opponents. Odi Meyi's triumphs and eventual humility teach us that true strength is not just physical. It lies in intelligence, preparation, and honoring the spiritual forces that guide us. If this story resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What lessons stood out to you the most from Odi Meyi's journey? Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Stay tuned for more stories that weave culture, tradition, and timeless wisdom into powerful narratives. Until next time, remember, with wisdom and perseverance, every challenge can be conquered. Asi.